Well, he keeps needing his vacations even during Parliament session.
BJP is making point that Rahul Gandhi is going on yet another foreign travel. He's non-serious. He hardly comes to Parliament.
Who's saying this? The BJP. Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has been abroad more than in India. If you check his itinerary, you can see that the number of days he spent abroad during the time of Parliament is much, much more than any other citizen of this country. So he or BJP cannot accuse of Rahul Gandhi going abroad. And I understand he goes on a very official delegation with a respected organization inviting him. And if there is the External Affairs Ministry and Home Ministry with the Government of India, they can always do an inquiry on that. And I'm challenging the Government of India to prove how, when he raises question inside the Parliament, how can he become a non-serious politician? When SIR is being discussed, when the transparency of the Election Commission of India is being questioned, he turns out to be a non-serious politician. And he is not allowed to go to any foreign country, but the Prime Minister can go.
उज्ज्वल जी, राहुल गांधी की विदेश यात्रा को लेकर विपक्ष सवाल उठा रहा है और कह रहा है कि संसद में चर्चा हो रही है, वो तो विदेश जा रहे हैं।
देखिए, किसी का पूर्व निर्धारित कार्यक्रम हो, उसमें कहीं जा रहा हो, ये सदन के लिए चर्चा का विषय हो सकता है क्या? एक चीज बतला दीजिए कि इस समय सदन के सामने इतने गंभीर विषय हैं, इतने गंभीर मुद्दे हैं और सरकार उस पर न कार्रवाई करती है, न चर्चा करती है। तो आज जनता जो है पूरे देश की ये महसूस कर रही है कि ये सरकार किम कर्तव्य विमूढ़ की तरह खड़ी है। चाहे चुनावी सुधार का मुद्दा हो, चाहे इंडिगो की क्राइसिस हो, चाहे पोल्यूशन का मामला हो। तो इसलिए मैं कहना चाहूंगा सरकार को इन मुद्दों पर बात करनी चाहिए। कौन कहाँ जा रहा है ये देश का समस्या नहीं, देश का मुद्दा नहीं। सरकार की चिंता किसान नहीं है, सरकार की चिंता नौजवान नहीं है, सरकार की चिंता खाली ये है कि राहुल गांधी पर कैसे निशाना साधा जाए। इसलिए मैं कहना चाहूंगा सरकार अपनी इस मानसिकता से ऊपर उठे और देश के कल्याण के बारे में सोचे।
This
All right, now bringing you a CNN News 18 mega exclusive on this Goa nightclub tragedy. Documents reveal that repeated warnings over illegal construction and safety violations at a club in Goa were ignored for the past 2 years, which finally culminated in this tragic accident. The club was built in a restricted area on land officially designated as salt pan and agricultural wetland where commercial construction is strictly prohibited. So we're learning more about the illegal nature of this club. Also, despite this, the property had a club, restaurant, RCCG plus one building, water platform, decks and shops, all operating without any license or any sort of clearance. This is what we're learning right now also. So this was just from what we are learning right now, a disaster waiting to happen. For more on this, we have with us Simran. Simran, thank you so much for joining us. Now, the more we learn about this, the more we understand that this was truly just a recipe for a disaster waiting to happen.
Very rightly said. In fact, the documents that we have accessed in this regard go on to show now the repeated warnings that were time and again being ignored. And not just in fact to this very property, but the entire land that was encroached, that was illegally being operated. And if we speak of these documents one by one, starting by the demolition notice that was sent by the under section 66 of the Goa Panchayat, where it was mentioned that on the complaint that was lodged by the whistleblower Pradeep Ghadi Amonkar, and this demolition notice that has been sent here. And while we speak of the inspection notice that was also sent to this very property at the Arpora Road, which was also in fact having the names of both the Luthra brothers. The demolition notice that I have right now mentions clearly that it was issued on the 20th of the April last year. It also had attached the notices of the site inspection notice that was on the complaint of the illegal construction. So if we understand both of these in context, first, in fact, the demolition notice was put up on the basis of how exactly the warnings that have been repeatedly sent were time and again ignored, and it has mentioned the times where the checks were being regulated. It was being sent also time and again on the procedural basis to the property owners.
All right, now bringing you a CNN News 18 mega exclusive on this Goa nightclub tragedy. Documents reveal that repeated warnings over illegal construction and safety violations at a club in Goa were ignored for the past 2 years, which finally culminated in this tragic accident. The club was built in a restricted area on land officially designated as salt pan and agricultural wetland, where commercial construction is strictly prohibited. So we're learning more about the illegal nature of this club. Also, despite this, the property had a club, restaurant, RCCG plus one building, water platform, decks and shops, all operating without any license or any sort of clearance. This is what we're learning right now also. So this was just from what...
Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Shivani Gupta, and we'll get you all the latest that we're tracking from the south of India, beginning with Karnataka, where the Hate Speech and Hate Crimes Prevention Bill 2025 has been introduced in the Assembly. This bill proposes imprisonment ranging from 2 to 10 years for offenders and introduces the concept of collective liability for organizations. Karnataka government claims that this legislation was necessary because no existing law deals explicitly with hate speech. My colleague Harish Upadhyay is joining us. Harish, if you look at the fine print of this bill, there will be many objections, including the suggestion that even private conversation of citizens could be monitored. How the government would do that and why private conversations have been made part of this bill is a big question.
Well, absolutely. There are at least 4 to 5 aspects of this bill which will perhaps be severely objected by the opposition on the floor of the House when this comes up for discussion. Remember, this has just been tabled now. One is what really constitutes as hate speech. Not just that, the power that the government enjoys in deciding this, and also if it'll just be individuals, their conversations, or even if what gets carried in the media will also be termed as hate speech, because if you look at the aspects of the bill, it's talking about what goes on in media and social media as well. And apart from that, we've also seen concerns by the BJP that this could have enough room for officials at district level especially to misuse certain aspects of this bill to harass individuals. On the other hand, we've seen the Law Minister and others coming out and saying that it's only people who indulge in hate speech who should be worried about this particular bill and not others. When this comes up for discussion, we can expect some heated exchange between the opposition and the ruling party here in Karnataka. We'll have to see if the opposition can actually push the government to bring in some amendments to this bill, which has already been passed by the Karnataka cabinet.
Yes, not just politically, but even civil society could have many objections, because it could be ordinary individuals using social media or private conversations where they could be slapped with such sections. The other aspect is that they plan to make digital intermediaries, in other words, social media companies, also liable for what happens there. Now, there is, of course, a law in India which requires them to take down certain content if the government asks or if a court asks. But what does the government have to say here? The state government might not really have any sweeping powers to make digital intermediaries responsible.
Absolutely. In fact, there are many asking if some of these aspects can be implemented at all, but the government saying that it can't be just the person who's posting a message who has to be held responsible. If there are platforms which are providing scope for these individuals to post it, then they should be responsible. While activists have pointed out that certain aspects of this bill perhaps might be in direct confrontation with what is mentioned in the DPDP Act.
Okay, Harish, just stay with me. Ashok Gowda of the BJP is joining us. What is the BJP's plan as far as this bill tabled in Assembly is concerned, Mr. Gowda, and which aspects do you find problematic?
There are a lot of aspects which in the bill which are definitely going to be a very problematic thing in the future. Point number one. Point number two, Congress people should introspect and think that, whenever they have used the hate speeches, what is the action what they have taken? For example, calling Sanatana Dharma itself as using the low-profile words or using such words on Sanatana Dharma. So does it not attract a hate speech this thing? So who will be held responsible? For example, there are several platforms now. One is the social media platforms, and the people who have used derogatory remarks on the Sanatana gods or Sanatana Dharma itself, or even on Bhagavad Gita, without reading anything, they use derogatory comments on Bhagavad Gita. So that is part one in the social media. Second thing is on the public platforms. Third thing is on the politicians using it in the assemblies and other places. So all these are definitely going to be a very contemporaneous points in the future. So these people need to understand. Several bills are passed in India, but by passing any bill, will there be a solution to a problem? That is not a solution. Solution is they should introspect and say that, whether we are doing a right thing or setting a right example for society or not. If they are not going to set a right example for society, society will set a right example by throwing these people out. So what needs to be done today by HK Patil, who is going to present the bill, as well as the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, or the supporters of the Congress like Priyanka Kharge and other people who think that they are the future CMs in the state, they need to introspect today and think that, whenever they use derogatory comments on any politician or any public figure or any other dharma or ideologies, so what will be the consequences?
Okay.
So by passing a bill, nothing is going to happen. So society is more reflects on the implementation processes. So the implementation is definitely a challenge in the coming days. So these people need to understand that they need to set an example and not leave the example for the society itself.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. We'll see how this plays out. But already, even in civil society, lots of people have come out to point out that this, again, looks like something that the union government under Congress had once tried to do, bringing in an IT Act, which was heavily condemned, and it had to be repealed, of course, this kind of monitoring of what people are saying, possibly even in the personal realm. Moving on to another major scam that has come to light in Tirumala, where the TDT allegedly purchased substandard silk garments at exorbitant prices. A vigilance inquiry revealed that the tender contractor sold garments which were worth less than 100 rupees for as high as 1400 rupees. Suspicious of these irregularities, the TDT board has ordered a detailed probe. In its October board meeting, the TDT governing body had passed a resolution to hand over the case to the ACB for further investigation.
और अभी नया स्कैम वो भगवान का दर्शन के बाद वेद आशीर्वाद मंडपम में रंगनाथ मंडपम में भक्तों को आशीर्वाद देते, वो आशीर्वाद का समय में हम शेष वस्त्र देते, वो शेष वस्त्र पूर्ण सिल्क में होना है, लेकिन पॉलिस्टर का वस्त्र दे दिया। टेंडर कोर्ट में 1500 कोट किया, लेकिन वो एक्चुअल प्राइस अभी इंक्वायरी में प्राइमरी इंक्वायरी में आ गया 400 to 500 वर्थ का पॉलिस्टर क्लॉथ सप्लाई किया। ये पूरा मामला अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 50 crores का स्कैम। ये अच्छा नहीं, भगवान के पास ऐसा नहीं करना है। और मूल विराट को अलंकार करते हैं ना, वो भी मेटल वस्त्र, वो भी 100% सिल्क होने, वो सिल्क में भी अच्छा सिल्क यूज़ नहीं किया। भगवान के ऊपर ऐसा नहीं करना, भगवान के पास ऐसा नहीं करना। ये पूरा का मामले में हम डिटेल्ड इंक्वायरी करने के बाद किधर किधर मिसयूज़ हुआ, कौन इसके पीछे, वो पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन हम बोर्ड में डिस्कस करने के बाद इसके ऊपर हम केस भी डालने के लिए सोच रहे हैं.
My colleague PV Ramana is joining us with more. PV, the TDP is the TDT is the one of, I think, the richest religious body in India, and it's clear with the way the oversight is now trying to look at its expenses that there is not just pilferage, there's not just wasteful spending, but possibly also collusion in corruption in the manner in which the board's money was being spent.
Yeah, Shivani, as you said, the TTD is once again in the controversy because of this. Instead of silk dupattas, one of the suppliers supplied polyester dupattas. It's the same thing. It looks like polyester. Even the polyester looks like silk only. Recently, they got the doubt for another new procurement. In fact, at the time they sent it the silk dupattas which were supplied by the trader. It was sent for lab. In fact, it's in the lab test, it's clearly mentioned that that procurement was made polyester procurement only instead of this dupattas. Actually, the TTD will pay around for 1,400 rupees, 1,400 rupees. It's almost 1,300 something plus. It's almost 1,400 rupees for each dupatta. Instead of that, the procurement was made only polyester. It was not even 100 rupees of it cost. So it's once again it was drawing the attention of everyone in the TTD and as well as in the state of Andhra Pradesh, in fact. So recently they called for another procurement in the month of November itself. In the November, in the month of September itself. In the September, they got the doubt and accordingly they ordered for vigilance inquiry into the particular matter by the TTD board itself. The TTD in that inquiry it is clearly mentioned that for the past 10 years, that is from 2015 to 2025. Instead of supplying the dupattas, I think that the trader name is some VSR Silk, something like that, VSR Textile. That VSR Textile supplied only polyester dupattas instead of silk dupattas. It is almost for 55 crore rupees worth of scam has happened in TTD for the past 10 years. And even TTD board ordered for ACB, detailed ACB inquiry, and the TTD board written a letter to government stating that for the detailed inquiry by the ACB in this particular matter, Shivani.
And this isn't, as you said, the first of its kind of scandal or scam that is coming to light. Over the years, there have been multiple such scams that have come to light, including pilferage issues, etc. There is the Laddu scam that came to light, which was very offensive to, of course, the faith of the devotees itself. What is this oversight that the new board or the new government is trying to do? What all have they found since the government changed hands?
Initially, there is a lot of controversies in the TTD because it's one of the richest temple, as you mentioned. It's one of the richest temple in the country itself. The hundi revenue itself is almost 3 crore rupees per day. It's almost 100 crore rupees per month. So accordingly, whatever happened, like recently we have seen a Laddu scam, and even we have seen the ghee scam. In the ghee scam only, instead of supplying the pure ghee, they supplied adulterated ghee. So it's a very holy temple. The TTD has having its own faith and all. So when these kind of incidents happens in the TTD board, definitely it creates some sensation and of course it creates some doubts in the minds of the devotees. Of course, in the new government, recently the government is taking a lot of steps to control everything in the TTD board. Recently, even the TTD EVO also transferred a new EVO. Anil Kumar Singhal was appointed in the place of old executive officer. Now, one after another, they are trying to maintain. Put in the place everything put in the place. Recently, last year also, we have seen at the time of darshan, a lot of people were there was stampede was happened. A lot of people died in this incident. Later on, a lot of irregularities is taking place. Irregularities coming to the light, which was happened in the last 10 years or even in the past 10 years also. Even non-Hindu workers, non-Hindu employees also working in the Hindu temple. That is also one of the controversy which was drawn the attention of entire country. How to see one after another how the ACB will react, how the TTD will react, and how the government will react in this irregularity, especially the scam which came to light recently in the name of dupattas, Shivani.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Certainly a lot that is going wrong as far as the wealth of the Tirumala Tirupati temple is concerned. Moving on to the other probe that is going on regarding temple gold, which is the Sabrimala gold loot case. Senior Congress leader Ramesh Chennithala will be giving his statement before the SIT today. He has recently written to the SIT claiming that the missing gold doesn't just involve local actors, but may have been sold via an international antique smuggling network. He claims there was a deal worth 500 crore rupees. So Ramesh Chennithala will be speaking and presenting himself in front of the SIT now. He is making certain charges about the pilferage of the gold from the temple to international corridors, the deal worth 500 crores that he is talking about. This, of course, is another big scandal that has engulfed the Kerala government. It has happened under their watch. And recently, what had come to light is that gold ornaments of the temple, when they were given out for plating, they came back with lesser gold weight, and there were several members of the Sabrimala board and others who have been caught or nabbed in that scam. My colleague Neetu is now joining us. Neetu, tell us more of the allegations that Ramesh Chennithala is making.
See, Ramesh Chennithala, what he was saying is that an entrepreneur, businessman has spoken to him that the gold that has been looted from Sabrimala is being sold in the international market. So this is what he has written to the investigating team, also the special investigation team. He was supposed to give his statement before the special investigation team today, but then due to certain issues, he is not giving the statement today is what we are understanding. But as of now, this is what Ramesh Chennithala is saying, that he has got certain information like this and he wants to give the details to the special investigation team. He has already sent a letter to the team is what we understand.
All right, Neetu, stay with us. We're getting some more breaking updates coming from the state of Kerala. This is with regards to the sexual assault and rape cases that have been filed against Congress MLA Rahul Mamakutathil. He has received relief from court in the second sexual assault case that was filed against him. He has been granted anticipatory bail. Remember, there are two cases filed against him and there is some relief coming in from him, at least as far as immediate arrest is concerned. Neetu continues to be with us. Neetu, tell us more.
Now, Rahul Mankutathil, the Palakkad MLA who has been expelled from the Congress, has got relief from this Principal Sessions Court in the second case that has been registered against him. He has filed for anticipatory bail and the Principal Sessions Court has given him anticipatory bail in the second assault case that has been filed against him. There are two FIRs that has been registered against Rahul Mankutathil. In the first FIR, he has his anticipatory bail was rejected at the Sessions Court, but when it went to the Kerala High Court, he got interim protection from arrest because till the case is considered next, that is on December 15th, the first case, the anticipatory bail plea case will be considered by the Kerala High Court in the first case, and now he has got relief from the Sessions Court in the second case. So now even if he wants to come out in the open till at least 15th of December, he has protection of arrest from both the cases.
All right. Neetu, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll move on to another controversy that is brewing in the state of Tamil Nadu. The Deepam Rao has taken a turn as the DMK, backed by India Bloc allies, submitted an impeachment notice against the Madras High Court Judge G.R. Swaminathan over the lighting of the lamp at the ancient pillar, the order that was given by the judge. With over 120 MPs signing on, the opposition plans to move this motion in both houses of parliament. Leaders including Kanimori, T.R. Balu, Akhilesh Yadav and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra handed this motion to the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, alleging judicial misconduct and bias on the part of the judge. Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has now slammed this move as political intimidation and an attempt to silence the judiciary. Meanwhile, left parties have accused the BJP of stoking communal tensions in Tamil Nadu over the Thiruparankunduram Hill dispute. The BJP hit back hard, charging the opposition with flaunting what it called their anti-Hindu credentials.
It's very unfortunate. Here, Hindu sentiment should be respected. It is the rights of the Hindu we are fighting for. And in spite of the judgment, the arrogance of the state government denied the rights of the people to lit the lamp. And it is the mistake done by the government, and it is a wrong precedence for each and everything. If they move impeachment motion, it is the judiciary is not supported. It is not correct. And even the MPs, because they are the member of parliament, they should understand the problem. And it is the biased attitude and activity of the DMK government. They are doing it. It is very unfortunate, I have to say.
A single judge cannot change the verdict of two-judge bench. He has no authority. But he is intentionally doing it to create problem, to go on par with the BJP and their associates. And he is also party to the plan of the BJP. They want to have, there is a dargah there. So they want to demolish that. They are planning what they did in Babar Masjid, they want to do it here. The impeachment will expose the judge. We don't have the majority to pass the impeachment. But it will. We can discuss in the parliament, we can talk in the parliament as to what wrong the judge had done.
I don't think anybody should have an objection to it. If members of parliament feel strongly about a certain issue concerning the judiciary, they are well within their rights to table an impeachment motion. And if at all, after an inquiry is conducted, under the Judges Inquiry Act, everything is found to be kosher. Everything will be fine.
But Manish, what the BJP is saying is, one, you're disrespecting the judiciary. Second, you're anti-Hindu as well.
Well, I'm absolutely amazed at the constitutional ignorance of the BJP. Do they not understand that the Constitution provides for an impeachment? Do they not understand that it is the prerogative of MPs to move an impeachment motion? And insofar as the second question you asked, well, that's their default DNA, except for polarizing this country. Since 2014, they've done precious little.
DMK has given a notice for impeachment. Tiruchi Siva is here with us. Sir, on what ground are you seeking the impeachment of the High Court judge?
See, on 11th of October 2025, a petition signed by 50 MPs from both houses was submitted to the President of India as well as the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. That petition was considered of 13 charges against Justice G.R. Swaminathan, High Court Justice in Tamil Nadu. That action has to be taken. But of course, the powers do not vest with the President or Supreme Court Judge. It can be done, if at all he has to be removed, it can be only through an impeachment. So this impeachment which has been moved yesterday, signed by various political parties, 107 members of parliament, has approached in the proper manner. Right. And very clear, we want to make it out. This impeachment notice and Tirupparangundram case is totally different. Some want to interpret that this impeachment is for that. No. For 4 months ago itself, we have given a petition and we have now sought the legislative remedy.
So if this is not connected, what is your grievance against the High Court judge then, if it is not this particular case of the Deepam?
13 instances have been quoted in the petition earlier. Those 13 have also been now listed and given to the Speaker.
Where you are saying that his politically affiliated judgments are coming. Is that your main ground?
No, he should be very sincere to the Constitution. He must uphold the spirits of the Constitution. He must act in a manner that no suspicion or doubt should arise upon him. But he has, in public places, the way of his speaking and in delivering judgments, the observations he's made, all these are the charges we have leveled and we have got all evidences. It is already submitted and we hope...
So one criticism that is coming towards you from BJP is that every time you don't agree with a judge, are you going to threaten to impeach?
Hello, what is the question it is? I say whenever we have a grudge against a judge, it happens very rarely. We don't give every day a impeachment notice against a judge. That means not all judges are not proper. No, that is not so. I remember in 2008 or 9 or sometime, one impeachment happened in Rajya Sabha. After that, only this.
My colleague Purnima Murli is also tracking the latest on ground. Purnima, the DMK-led impeachment motion, is unlikely to succeed as far as the parliamentary proceedings are concerned. But the DMK leaders continue to reiterate that this isn't just about this case, that they have a long litany of complaints against this judge. And he has been in the crosshairs of the DMK and its supporters as well in the past.
Absolutely. The point that the DMK is trying to reiterate is that from October onwards, there have been instances where they allege that the judge is leaning towards the right, and therefore it's time that this issue be brought to light. And this is not just the Deepam instance alone. However, the BJP and the AIADMK have hit back, and they continue to reiterate that the DMK is anti-Hindu, and therefore any judgment that goes against them, they immediately want to raise this, and they should respect the judge, and they should not have defied the orders of the Madurai bench. But clearly, Tirupurukundram issue is also going to be one of the narratives that will dominate the 2026 State Assembly polls.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this is becoming a very protracted case. It didn't really end with what was happening in Tamil Nadu courts alone or the Madras High Court alone. This has reached the Supreme Court plus the India Bloc parties have moved this impeachment notice as well. Do you think that this is also, as some critics say, the nervousness ahead of the 2026 elections, where the DMK wants to present its stance? It has found a way to kind of reiterate its stance of how it wants to rule Tamil Nadu, plus the nervousness with Vijay and others' entry into the fray.
Absolutely, with just 5 months to go for the elections, and with BJP also all set to make inroads this time with the help of its alliance partner, the AIADMK. Certainly, the DMK wants to talk about certain issues that they feel may work in their favor. One, of course, is the language row, which they still continue to reiterate, and the other is for example, trying to get the minority vote bank. These are some of the statements made by the BJP and the AIADMK, saying that the DMK is continuously talking about this because they are keeping in mind the minority vote bank, and that's why they want to ensure that the minority vote bank is in their favor, especially at a time when Vijay is also making inroads, when he's also a politician who is seen to get the minority vote bank. So clearly, all these are factors that the DMK is considering, is what political analysts and the opposition parties maintain. But only time will tell how much of an impact this issue will have on the election results.
Yes, and there are a couple of judgments from October onwards this year where the particular judge has given orders against what were state actions against citizens, especially in context of religion. Both of those cases pertaining to that as well. We'll leave it at that. My colleague Hem is now joining us, taking over the news further.
Thank you so much, Vani. Of course, here's a quick look at what we are tracking for you at this hour on CNN News 18 with me, Hem Korsura. Let's quickly take a look. Now, after fleeing to Thailand, Luthra brothers seek anticipatory bail as agencies push for their return. CNN News 18 exclusively spoke to the whistleblower who reveals how this tragedy was waiting to happen, and even he was threatened by the brothers for raising irregularities about their club in the past. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant assures action over the nightclub tragedy, says all accused will be nabbed, says pubs violating norms will be shut down. CNN News 18 investigation reveals rampant fire norm breaches in Delhi and Bengaluru clubs as well. Day after the centre announced 10% curtailment of IndiGo flights, SpiceJet proposes additional 100 flights during the current winter schedule, subject to regulatory approvals. BJP targets leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi over his Germany visit during parliament session, labels him leader of Paryatan. Now, US tech giants show clear disagreement with President Trump over his India dead economy remark as they bet big on Bharat with mega investments. This also after Microsoft's $17.5 billion investment. Now, Amazon announces a $35 billion investment in India. UNESCO confers Intangible Heritage for Humanity tag on the festival of Diwali. Prime Minister Modi hails the recognition for the soul of India's civilization. All right, now Congress leader Rahul Gandhi will visit Germany from December 15th to 20th to meet members of the Indian diaspora and also hold talks with German government ministers. Now, of course, this has not gone down well with the BJP. They've criticized the timing of this trip, which is suspect, saying that he chose to travel while Parliament's winter session is underway and have accused him of neglecting his duties. The Congress, on the other hand, has dismissed this attack, saying that the Gandhi's international outreach will continue and that his travel plans, in fact, do not affect in any way the party's functioning in the parliament. Of course, that being said, the BJP has also questioned his repeated absence during important parliamentary discussions. Sonia Gandhi attended the Vande Mataram debate in Rajya Sabha, but Rahul Gandhi was missing then. He did not take part, didn't tweet on Priyanka Gandhi's speech and stayed in parliament only for 10 minutes without entering the house. Now, top Congress sources say Rahul viewed the Vande Mataram debate as a division for more important issues and did not diversion from more important issues, and did not want to in fact participate in what he considered a government PR exercise. BJP leaders are also watching whether he will be present when Amit Shah responds to this particular debate as well.
चलता है, विदेश में रहता है, बाद में बोलते हैं हमको बात करने के लिए हमको मौका नहीं मिलता है, रहते इधर नहीं हैं। और जब चुनाव चल रहा था बिहार में तब भी फॉरेन में था, तो इसलिए उनके बारे में तो जो ही इज ए पार्ट टाइम नॉन सीरियस पॉलिटिकल लीडर। यू फॉर्म द गवर्नमेंट इन कर्नाटका, बीजेपी लॉस्ट देयर, आपका क्या था स्टेटमेंट? और जब आप झारखंड में आप इंडी के अलायंस के साथ आप जीत गए, क्या था? तेलंगाना में अब जब आप जीते थे उस टाइम क्या था? ये जब हारते हैं ईवीएम, जब हारते हैं इलेक्शन कमीशन, आरएसएस कब्जा करेगा, तो जब आप जीतते हैं सब कुछ ठीक रहता है।
Modi ji spends almost half his working time outside the country. Why are they raising questions on the leader of the opposition travelling?
All right, for more on this, we also have Pallavi Ghosh with us. Now, Pallavi, what is your assessment of this? Of course, they are saying that he deemed this entire debate in the parliament something that he did not want to be a part of and diversion. What's your take?
Yeah, I don't think it was a one-off thing. Rahul Gandhi very deliberately kept away from the Vande Mataram debate because he was very much here in Parliament. He was seen around for 10 minutes. In fact, we did ask him the question also, but he did not respond and he left. So him not attending when the Prime Minister is speaking, one can understand, but him not attending when his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra was speaking was something which many people found unusual. And not just that, as we are reporting, he didn't even put it out on the social media timeline, which is X. That's one. Second, even yesterday when he came in just 10 minutes before he was to give that speech, and he left immediately after that. Now, yesterday's discussion is a topic which is very close to Rahul Gandhi's political narrative of vote story about, electoral reforms needed and so on and so forth. And the discussion was begun by Manish Tiwari. Yet he did not even attend that. He did not even sit through the discussion and he walked away. That is why the BJP is saying that every time you create a ruckus about an issue, but you yourself are conspicuous by your absence when we agree to have a discussion on that, whether it was on Manipur and whether it is on the electoral reforms or the SIR issue.
Absolutely, as you mentioned, this is hardly an aberration when it comes to him. We have witnessed his repeated absences before as well. That being said, do you think this perhaps sends a message that he probably thinks that he's above all of this?
Well, I mean, that's what the BJP is saying, not for us to say so, but the BJP is certainly accusing him of being a very kind of a convenient politician. That, they say that you, as an LOP, you stay away from, say, the oath of the